Alrighty, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. First episode live in a long time. I am back from Israel. I'm just gonna get one few last things set up, and we'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day is going well. Happy to be back on live. Happy to be back with live chat. Happy to just be back with normal podcast setup. Back with my mic. Just be happy with all of it. After being stuck in Israel for a while. But yeah, it is all back to how it was. And happy to have it that way. And boy, we got a lot to talk about this episode, including some mouth droppers from the NFL and even college football. And by the way, I am live just before, and it could be able to start game 2 the LCS between the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, which is a bit of a spoiler, but might as well let you know that might start while we're live, which I plan to have on while we're live if it does start while I'm on. But either way, doesn't matter. That's not what matters to me most. You get what I'm trying to say. That's not what matters most. Right now, what matters to me is I have an episode to do. I don't know what is going on with YouTube right now. Hello. Meanwhile, let's get audio is recording and live. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, so I'm not going to do my outro song today, but usually it would. But let's get right into it. Welcome back to episode 97 of Banging the Booth podcast. Thank you so much for all the support to this point. Very much appreciate it. We're actually one subscriber away, literally from 130 subscribers, which is crazy saying. Is good to be back with my normal setup, my mic, back in America after being stuck in Israel for way too long. Happy to be back. If you haven't checked out, I did post a YouTube short update from Sunday from where I was at. Basically, in order to get back, I had to go from Tel Aviv to Madrid, Spain, and from Madrid, Spain back to here, which was a whole crazy process. 5-hour flight from Israel, 8-hour flight from Madrid, Spain. But that was something. And let's move on. But I am back. Happy to be back. A lot more teams have supported Israel. Some have even gone to a further extent than a lot of others. There was a moment of silence before the Broncos-Chiefs game. Browns are backing up with Jewish Federation of Cleveland. The Bulls and White Sox are connecting with the United Hatzalah of Israel. A whole bunch of teams just more and more stepping up. And even Tua was talking about it during one of his most recent post-game press conferences. Either way, though, let's get into sport. Let's get into this. So, starting off with recapping the rest of the League Division Series, which, spoiler alert, none of them even went 5 games. At most went 4 games since the title. Let's start off with Baltimore, Texas. Baltimore, Texas went home up 2-0, and they completed the sweep, winning 7-1 in Game 3 behind a 5-run second. Bruce Bochy now became the 7th manager to reach the league championship series with 3 different franchises. No one has ever won a league championship series with 3 different franchises, at least not yet. Also, this loss marks AL East has lost 11 straight postseason games going back to last year's ALDS Game 5. Yankees won over the Guardians. Bruce Bochy's also Bochy's first series is 1 series victory away, ALCS, which already an advantage for Texas, from becoming the first manager to reach a World Series with 3 different franchises. to become the third. Sorry, he has. I don't know why. Whatever. But either way, he right now he's did it with San Diego in '98. He did it with the Giants in the even years of 10, 12, and 14. And Texas would mark the third, which would join Hall of Fame managers Dick Williams to do it with the Red Sox or A's and Padres. Padres 84, I believe. The Red Sox, I think, was like somewhere in the 60s, and A's was in the 70s. And Bill McKeechney with the Pirates, Cardinals, and Reds. That's wrap up for Baltimore, Texas. So Minnesota-Houston was even at a game apiece going into Game 3. Houston won 9-1 in Game 3 behind a Jose Abreu two-homer game who had a 3-run homer off Sonny Gray, which was his first home run given up since July of last year. Christian Javier also is the fourth starting pitcher in postseason history with at least 5 innings pitched, joining Whitey Ford from 1960 to 1961, who had 4, with 3 of them being shutouts. 2006, Kenny Rogers, who had 3, and 1905, Christy Matheson, who had 3, all shutouts. And then Game 4, Houston won 3-2 on the back of another Jose Abreu 2-run homer that sent Houston to the ALCS. Another opportunity of chanting, "We want the next opponent," being a failure for Minnesota, but this season's absolutely it up for them, even just to break both the games and the series streak for them. Big W in there for them, if you ask me at least. Atlanta and Philly was even heading back to Philly. Philly dominated Game 3. Atlanta struck first, but it was all Philly. 6-run third, and Bryce Harper first postseason 2-homer game, and Nick Castellanos also had a 2-homer game. Phillies had 6 homers in this game, which is a franchise postseason record. Also, I think it's the first time 2 different players have had a 2-homer game in the postseason. But anyway, and then Game 4, they won 3-1 on the back of another Nick Castellanos 2-homer game, which was he is the first player in MLB history to have 2-homer games in back-to-back games. Not the only history we have of him to talk about, but Phillies move on to the NLCS. Of course, against Arizona, which they swept, winning Game 3 4-2 on the back of 4-run, 4-homer inning, leading Arizona revenge for the 2017 NLCS against NLDS against the Dodgers, which the Dodgers swept that one. Finally, they sweep this time and are off to the NLCS for the first time since 2007, where they lost to the Rockies. So that set up the ALCS with a Texas showdown in the ALCS for Astros and Rangers, and Phillies and Diamondbacks in the NLCS. ALCS Game 1, Texas won 2-0 behind Jordan Montgomery 6 in the third shutout innings, and Leota Tavares back-breaking solo homer in the 5th, and Evan Carter turning a back-breaking double play that caught Altuve lacking that was hit by Bregman. And then Game 2, they won 5-4 on the back of a 4-run first, which is most in the first inning in Texas history on 5 hits. Houston was shut out for 10 innings going back to Game 1, and then on Yordan Alvarez third home run, who also had a 2-homer game. But Texas is going to home up 2-0. Houston's not done, though, trust me. We are 3 years removed from when they came back from down. Well, almost came back from down 3-0. They're not done. Trust me, this series is nowhere near over yet. Houston can still come back. And then Arizona-Philly Game 1. Philly won 5-3. Schwarber, fourth career postseason leadoff home run, which is most in MLB history. And Bryce Harper on his birthday, and his fourth player to do so in MLB history. Homer within the first 5 pitches of the game in the bottom of the first in Philly's victory. Nick Castellanos homered in the third, making it 5 homers in 3-game span, which he joins Reggie Jackson from 1977 as only players in MLB history to do so. So that's the LCS recap up to this point. Tonight, about to start very soon, will be Game 2, Philly hosting Arizona. Philly's up a game to none. Merrill Kelly pitching for Arizona. Aaron Nola pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies. And then Game 3 for Texas-Houston will be tomorrow at 8:03 on FS1. The game tonight is TES. Texas is up 2-0, of course. Christian Javier pitching for the Astros. Max Scherzer coming back from injury, pitching for the Texas Rangers. And that is the update with the score set up for tonight, going into tonight's games. Let's dive into NFL, which there's not much games to recap, but each game has a lot of details to go over. Because really the 2 biggest headlines from this week are the 2 undefeated teams going in this week, the 49ers and the Eagles. let's dive right into it. Browns 49ers, which I will admit, I did not watch this game for two reasons. One, I was on the plane when this game was unfolding. And two, I wasn't even planning on watching the game at all because no Deshaun Watson, PJ Walker against 49ers, I felt like there's no point they're going to get utterly dominated. Well, I was absolutely wrong because thanks to Jake Moody, who's Michigan-born and had family at the game, missed 41-yard field goal lead the Browns to a 9.5-point upset over the 49ers 19-17, ending in a 15-game regular season win streak for the San Francisco 49ers, which that was the line, by the way. Niners were 9.5-point favorites. Cleveland has given up 1,002 yards through 5 games this season, which is the fewest that any NFL team has given up in 5 games since 1970, and that's over a whole bunch of good defenses. Christian McCaffrey touchdown early was his 15th straight game with a touchdown, which is tied for second longest streak in NFL history, including playoffs. He did leave the game with injuries. So did Deebo Samuel, and Trent Williams also got hurt during the game. Though there was also a fight before the game that could have also helped the injury to some extent. And San Francisco's 215 total yards is the fewest for them in a game under Kyle Shanahan since he became coach in 2017. And Kyle's now 1-9 versus Jim Schwartz-led defense. It was a crazy game. And then the Jets beat the Eagles off a 45-yard pick, and one of 3 picks to Hurts threw on the night. And Breece Hall, 8-yard touchdown that gave the Jets the win. I forget what score and how it worked down. Jets defense versus 3 of the top 5 QBs in the NFL this year. Josh Allen, 236, touchdown, 3 picks. Pat Mahomes, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. And Jalen Hurts, 280 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 INTs, which is just crazy. But yeah, no more undefeated teams. And the 72 Dolphins will still remain the only undefeated team so far. 28-14 was the Jets-Eagles score, by the way. This week in predictions, I went 10-5. Overall, I'm 53-40. Standings update: AFC East, the Dolphins are in first place at 5-1, followed by the 4-2 Bills, followed by the 3-3 Jets, followed by the 1-5 Patriots. In the AFC North, the Ravens in first place at 4-2, followed by the 3-2 Steelers, followed by the 3-2 Browns, followed by the 3-3 Bengals. In the AFC South, Jaguars in first place at 4-2, followed by the 3-3 Colts, followed by the 3-3 Texans, followed by the 2-4 Titans. And then the AFC West, the Chiefs in first place in 5-1, followed by the 3-3 Raiders, followed by the 2-3 Chargers, followed by the 1-5 Broncos. That's for the AFC. In the NFC, the East, Eagles in first place in 5-1, followed by the 4-2 Cowboys, followed by the 3-3 Commanders, followed by the 1-5 Giants. In the NFC North, the Lions in first place in 5-1, followed by the 2-3 Packers, followed by the 2-4 Vikings, followed by the 1-5 Bears. NFC South, the Buccaneers in first place in 3-2, followed by the 3-3 Falcons, followed by the 3-3 Saints, followed by the 0-6 Panthers, and the NFC West, the 49ers in first place in 5-1, followed by the 3-2 Seahawks, followed by the 3-3 Rams, followed by the 1-5 Cardinals. Week 7 predictions: Thursday Night Football, we've got a decent matchup between the Jaguars and the Saints. I have the Saints winning that game. Sunday starts off Rams at Bears. I have the Rams. Browns at Colts, who will still be without Anthony Richardson most likely for the rest of the year. I have the Browns. Bills at Patriots, I have the Bills. Commanders at Giants, I have the Commanders. Falcons at Buccaneers, I have the Buccaneers. Lions at Ravens, I have the Lions. Steelers at Rams, I have the Raiders at Bears, by the way. Raiders, not Rams at Bears, whatever. I'm sorry about that. Steelers at Rams, I have the Rams. Cardinals at Seahawks, I have the Seahawks. Packers at Broncos, I have the Packers. Chargers at Chiefs, I have the Chiefs. Sunday Night Football, Miami at Philly, which should be a very interesting game. I have Philly. And Monday Night Football, 49ers at Vikings, I have the 49ers. That is it for the NFL part of the recap. Let's get to college football. Stanford came back from down 29-0 to beat Colorado 46-43 in double overtime in what was a very crazy game. Number 3, Ohio State avenges 2018 with a 41-7 whooping on Purdue. They dominated all game. They achieved both of what I wanted. Win by as much, if not more, than what they won in 2018. They were lost by 29 points. They won by well over that. And so it was a great win. I need that win to happen for 2018's sake, and probably a lot of people too. 7 to Washington beat Oregon 36-33 off missed Camden Lewis to 43-yard field goal. Number 21 Notre Dame beat number 10 USC off 3 INTs by former Heisman winner Caleb Williams of USC 48-20. Pitt upset number 14, Louisville 38-21, and Missouri upset number 24, Kentucky 38-21. That is Week 7 recap for college football. Week 8 preview, which, by the way, not this week, not next week, but in 3 weeks, we get the college football playoff rankings back, which that's going to make things even more interesting. So, anyways, Week 8 preview, key games to look out for. Number 7, Penn State at number 3, Ohio State, 12 p.m. on Fox, which College Game Day will be at. Also, probably big noon Fox also. Number 17, Tennessee at number 11, Bama, 3:30 on CBS. Number 16, Duke at number 4, Florida State, 7:30 on ABC. And number 14, Utah at number 18, USC, 8 p.m. on Fox. That's it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you're new on YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, leave a notification so notified when I go live and or post a new video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, hit the notification so notified when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will see you back in next week's episode number 98. Bye-bye.